The guard's hand was shaking when he touched William's shoulder. It was just after midnight. The palace hallways were silent, except for the distant echo of footsteps on marble. William had been walking back to his room after saying goodnight to his brother, his mind still buzzing from the day's events. Then the hand came down. "Gentle but firm, Your Highness," the guard whispered. His voice cracked. "I need you to come with me. Now." William turned. The man's face was pale under the dim lighting. His eyes darted down the hallway like he expected someone to appear at any moment. "What's wrong?" William asked, his pulse already quickening. The guard didn't answer. He just gestured toward a side corridor, one William rarely used. It led to the older wings of the palace, the parts tourists never saw. "Please," the guard said again. "Your mother warned us about this moment." The words hit William like cold water. His mother. The mention of her always did something to his chest, even after all these years. But this was different. This wasn't nostalgia or grief. This was something urgent. Something planned before you find out what happens next. If you love stories that pull you in and don't let go, hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what comes next. William followed the guard down the corridor. Their footsteps were soft, almost silent. The air grew colder. The portraits on the walls seemed to watch them pass. Kings and queens from centuries ago, their eyes dark and unreadable. "Where are we going?" William asked, his voice low. "Somewhere safe," the guard replied. "Somewhere she told us to take you, if this day ever came." "Ow. What day?" "What are you talking about?" The guard stopped at a heavy wooden door. He pulled a key from his pocket, hands still trembling. The lock turned with a loud click that echoed down the empty hall. Inside was a narrow staircase, spiraling downward into darkness. "She left instructions," the guard said quietly. "Sealed instructions. We were only supposed to open them if a very specific thing happened." William's throat felt tight. "And it happened." The guard nodded. His jaw clenched. "Tonight. Just an hour ago." He stepped onto the first stair and motioned for William to follow. The stone walls were damp. The smell of earth and age filled the air. Somewhere far below, William could hear water dripping. "What did the instructions say?" William asked as they descended. The guard glanced back over his shoulder. His eyes were wet. "They said you were in danger," he whispered. "They said someone close to you would try to hurt you. And they said when it happened, we had only one night to get you to the truth." William's heart slammed against his ribs. The truth about what? The guard didn't answer. He just kept walking, deeper and deeper into the darkness beneath the palace. At the bottom of the stairs was another door. Older, thicker. The wood was black with age. Reinforced with iron, the guard pressed his palm against it and pushed. It groaned open. Inside was a small room. A single lamp burned on a stone table. And sitting in the center of that table was a locked wooden box. The guard stepped aside. His face was grim. "She left this for you," he said. "She said you'd know what to do when you saw it." William stepped closer. His hands were cold. The box was old, carved with symbols he didn't recognize. But on the front, in faded gold lettering, was his name, and beneath it, in his mother's handwriting, were 3 words that made his blood run cold. "Open only tonight." Wally Gwenor, I will ground grin when I go. His heart was pounding so hard he could hear it in his ears. "Wow, how long has this been here?" he asked. The guard shifted his weight. 20 years. Since the week before she died. The words hung in the air like smoke. 20 years? She had known something, planned something, hidden something. All that time, this box had been waiting in the dark. William reached for the lid. It wasn't locked. It opened with a soft creak. Inside was a letter, a small brass key, and a photograph. William picked up the photograph first. His hands were shaking. It was old, the colors faded. It showed his mother standing beside a man he didn't recognize. They were young, maybe in their 20s. The man had kind eyes and a gentle smile. His arm was around her shoulders. She looked happy. Truly happy. William flipped the photo over. On the back, in his mother's handwriting, were 2 words. Your father. The room tilted. William grabbed the edge of the table to steady himself. It's impossible, he whispered. The guard said nothing. His face was stone. William set the photo down and picked up the letter. The paper was thick, expensive. The handwriting was unmistakably hers. Looping, elegant, unmistakable. He began to read. My dearest William, if you are reading this, then the day I feared has come. I am sorry I could not tell you this while I was alive. I am sorry for the secrets, but I had no choice. The truth would have destroyed you then. It might destroy you now. But you deserve to know. You deserve to decide for yourself. William's vision blurred. He blinked hard and kept reading. The man you call father is not your biological father. I know this will hurt. I know it will confuse you. But please keep reading. The man in the photograph is your real father. His name was James. He was a good man. The best man I ever knew. And he loved you before you were even born. William's chest felt tight. His throat burned. James was not royalty. He was a teacher. We met by chance, and we fell in love. But our love was impossible. The palace would never have allowed it. My family would never have accepted him. So I made a choice. I married the man the crown chose for me. And I let the world believe he was your father. Words blurred together. William had to stop. He pressed his palms against his eyes and breathed slowly. The guard stepped closer. Your Highness, are you? I'm fine, William said, even though he wasn't. He picked up the letter again. James died 3 months before you were born. A car accident. I never got to say goodbye. I never got to tell him how much I loved him. And I spent the rest of my life pretending to be someone I wasn't. Pretending to love someone I didn't. I did it for you. To protect you. To keep you safe. William swallowed hard. But there are people who know the truth. People who have kept this secret for decades. And if they ever felt threatened, if they ever believed the secret might come out, they would do anything to protect it. Even hurt you. Especially you. Because you are the proof. You are the evidence that the royal bloodline is not what the world believes it to be. The guard's voice cut through the silence. She was right, Your Highness. Someone found out. Tonight. His face was numb. Who? The guard hesitated. Then he said the name. The name that made William's stomach drop. Your brother. The lamp flickered. Shadows danced across the stone walls. William stared at the guard. That's not possible. He wouldn't, he knows, the guard said quietly. And he's not handling it well. William's mind raced. His brother. His closest friend? The person he trusted most in the world. What did he do? William asked. The guard's jaw tightened. He went to the council. He told them, you're not legitimate. He told them you have no right to the throne. William felt like the ground was falling away beneath him. And what did they say? The guard didn't answer. He didn't have to. His silence said everything. William looked back down at the letter. There was one more paragraph. One final message from his mother. If this day comes, you must leave the palace. Tonight, there is a man who will help you. His name is on the back of the key. Trust him. Trust no one else. I love you, William. I always have. I always will. Be brave. William picked up the brass key. His hands were still shaking. He turned it over. Engraved on the back was a name and an address. A name he didn't recognize. An address in a part of the city he'd never been to. The guard watched him closely. "What will you do, Your Highness?" William looked at the photograph one more time. His mother. His real father. Two people who loved each other in a world that wouldn't let them. He slipped the key into his pocket. "Going to find the truth," he said. The guard led William through a tunnel he never knew existed. It was narrow, dark. The walls were slick with moisture. Their footsteps echoed in the emptiness. William's mind was spinning. His brother, the council, the throne. Everything he thought he knew had crumbled in the span of 20 minutes. "How far does this go?" William asked. His voice sounded hollow in the dark. 2 miles, the guard said. "It comes out near the old cathedral. From there, you'll have to go on foot." William nodded, even though the guard couldn't see him. His chest felt heavy. His legs felt weak. But he kept moving, one foot in front of the other, just like his mother had taught him. They walked in silence for what felt like hours. Finally, a faint light appeared ahead, the end of the tunnel. The guard stopped and turned to face William. "This is as far as I can go," he said. His voice was thick with emotion. "If I'm seen with you after tonight, they'll know I helped you, and they'll make sure I never help anyone again." William reached out and gripped the man's shoulder. "Thank you. For everything." The guard's eyes were wet. "Your mother was a good woman. A brave woman. She deserved better than what this place gave her." William's throat tightened. He couldn't speak. He just nodded. The guard pressed something into William's hand. A phone. Old, basic, untraceable. "There's one number programmed in," he said. "The man your mother trusted. Call him when you're safe. He'll know what to do." William slipped the phone into his pocket alongside the key. "What about you?" he asked. The guard gave a sad smile. "I'll be fine. I've been preparing for this night for 20 years. I knew it would come eventually." He stepped back and gestured toward the light. "Go. Don't look back. And don't trust anyone who tells you to come home." William wanted to say more. Wanted to ask more. But there was no time. He turned and walked toward the light. The tunnel opened into a small stone chamber. Above him, a metal ladder led up to a grate. William climbed. His muscles burned. His hands were slick with sweat. At the top, he pushed the grate aside and pulled himself up into the night air. He was in an alley. Narrow. Dirty. The smell of garbage and rain filled his lungs. In the distance, he could see the spire of the old cathedral, black against the dark sky. William replaced the grate and started walking. He kept his head down. His clothes were too fine for this neighborhood. He needed to blend in. Needed to disappear. He found a small shop that was still open. The kind of place that didn't ask questions. He bought a plain jacket, a cap, and a cheap backpack. He changed in the bathroom and stuffed his royal clothes into the trash. When he looked in the mirror, he barely recognized himself. Good. That was the point. He left the shop and pulled out the phone. His hands were still shaking. He dialed the only number saved in the contacts. It rang twice. Then a voice answered. Low, careful. "Who is this?" "My name is William," he said quietly. "I was told to call you." There was a long pause. Then the voice said, "Where are you?" William looked around. "Near the old cathedral. I don't know the exact street. Stay where you are. I'll find you." The line went dead. William stood in the shadows and waited. Every sound made him flinch. Every car that passed made his heart race. He kept seeing his brother's face in his mind. Kept hearing his mother's words. They would do anything to protect the secret, even hurt you. 15 minutes later, a black car pulled up to the curb. The window rolled down. A man leaned out. He was older, maybe 60. His face was weathered. His eyes were sharp. "Get in," he said. William hesitated. "Trust no one," his mother had said. "Except this man." He opened the door and slid into the back seat. The car pulled away before he could even close the door. The man glanced at him in the rearview mirror. You look like her. Your mother. Same eyes. William's chest tightened. You knew her? I did. A long time ago. The man's voice softened. She was my sister. The words hit William like a punch. Your sister? The man nodded. My name is Thomas. I'm your uncle. Your real uncle. William stared at him. The resemblance was there. The shape of the jaw. The line of the nose. He could see it now. She never mentioned you, William said quietly. Thomas's face darkened. She couldn't. After she married into the royal family, she was told to cut all ties with her past. With her real family, they wanted to erase who she was, remake her into someone else. His hands tightened on the steering wheel, but she found a way to stay in touch. Secret letters. Hidden messages. And she made me promise that if anything ever happened to her, I would protect you. I would tell you the truth. William leaned back against the seat. His mind was reeling. Where are we going? Somewhere safe, Thomas said. Somewhere they won't think to look. They drove through the city in silence. The streets grew quieter. The buildings grew older. Finally, Thomas turned down a narrow road and parked in front of a small, unremarkable house. This was your mother's, Thomas said. Before she became a princess? Before everything changed, William stared at the house. It was simple, modest, nothing like the palace. Thomas got out and unlocked the door. Inside, the air smelled like dust and old wood. The furniture was covered in white sheets. Everything was frozen in time. She kept it, Thomas said quietly. Even after all those years, she said it reminded her of who she really was. William walked through the room slowly. He touched the walls. The furniture, the photographs. There were pictures everywhere. His mother as a child, his mother as a teenager, his mother laughing with people he didn't know, and in every picture, she looked free. Thomas appeared in the doorway. There's something else you need to see. Thomas led William to a small room at the back of the house. It was a study. Bookshelves lined the walls. A desk sat beneath the window. And on that desk was another box, smaller than the first, wrapped in faded blue cloth. She left this here, Thomas said. Years ago, she said if you ever came looking for the truth, I should give it to you. William approached the desk slowly. His hands felt heavy. His chest felt tight. He unwrapped the cloth and opened the box. Inside were letters, dozens of them, all in his mother's handwriting, all addressed to someone named James. William picked up the first one. The paper was thin, yellowed with age. He unfolded it carefully. My dearest James, I miss you more than words can say. Every day without you feels like a lifetime. But I carry you with me, in my heart, in my thoughts, and soon, in the life growing inside me. William's vision blurred. He set the letter down and picked up another. James, he's here. Our son, he's beautiful. He has your eyes, your smile. When I hold him, I feel like you're still with me. I've named him William. After your father? I hope that's okay. I hope you're watching over us. William's hands were shaking. He read letter after letter, each one a piece of his mother's hidden life. Each one a window into a love he never knew existed. James, he said his first word today. He called me Mama, and I cried, because I wish you were here to hear it. I wish you could see him. He's growing so fast. He's strong. He's kind. He's everything you would have wanted him to be. Thomas stood in the doorway, silent, watching William pick up the last letter in the box. It was different. Newer. The paper was crisp, the ink fresh. It was dated just days before his mother died. My dearest James, I know you're not here to read this, but I write to you anyway, because it helps, because it keeps you alive in my heart. William is grown now, oh man, and he's everything I hoped he would be. Strong, compassionate, brave. He looks like you, acts like you, and every day it breaks my heart that you'll never meet him. William's throat burned. Tears slipped down his cheeks. I'm dying, James. The doctors say I have weeks, maybe days. And I'm scared, not of death, but of leaving him in a world that will lie to him, a world that will try to make him into something he's not. William wiped his eyes and kept reading. I've left him a way out. A path to the truth? I don't know if he'll take it. But I hope he does. I hope he finds these letters. I hope he learns about you, about us, about the love that created him. Because he deserves to know. He deserves to choose his own path. The letter ended with a single line. I'll see you soon, my love. Wait for me. William set the letter down. His hands were trembling. His chest felt like it was being crushed. Thomas stepped into the room and placed a hand on his shoulder. She loved you, Thomas said quietly. More than anything in this world, and she loved him. Your father. She never stopped. William nodded. He couldn't speak. Thomas moved to the bookshelf and pulled out a leather journal. He handed it to William. This was his, Thomas said. Your father's. He kept it during the time he knew your mother. She gave it to me before she married. Said she couldn't keep it in the palace. Said it was too dangerous. William opened the journal. The handwriting was neat, precise. He turned to a random page and began to read. Today, I met a woman who changed everything. Her name is Eleanor. She has the kindest eyes I've ever seen. We talked for hours. About books. About life. About the things we dream of. I don't know if I'll ever see her again. But I hope I do. William flipped forward a few pages. Eleanor and I met again today. In the park. We walked and talked and laughed. I've never felt this way before. Like the world makes sense. Like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Kept reading. Entry after entry. His father's words. His father's thoughts. His father's love. And then, near the end of the journal, he found an entry that made his blood run cold. Someone is following us. I'm sure of it now. A man in a dark coat. He's been watching Eleanor. Watching me. I tried to confront him, but he disappeared into the crowd. Eleanor says I'm being paranoid, but I don't think I am. I think someone knows about us, and I think they're not happy. William's pulse quickened. He turned the page. Eleanor told me today that she's pregnant. I've never been so happy. And I've never been so terrified. She says we have to be careful. That her family can never know. That the palace can never know. But I don't care about any of that. I just want to be with her. I just want to be a father. The next entry was short, frantic. The man in the dark coat approached me today. He told me to stay away from Eleanor. He said if I didn't, there would be consequences. I told him to go to hell, but I'm scared. Not for me, for her, for our child. William's hands were shaking. He flipped to the last entry. It was dated 2 days before his father died. They're threatening her now. Threatening the baby. I've decided to leave, to disappear. If I'm gone, they'll leave her alone. They'll let her live her life. Even if it's not the life we wanted. I'll write to her. I'll explain. And I'll pray that one day, our child will understand. The entry ended there. No signature. No goodbye. Thomas's voice cut through the silence. He never got the chance to leave. He died that night. Car accident, they said. But your mother never believed it. William looked up. His face was pale. You think someone killed him? Thomas met his eyes. I know they did, and I know who gave the order. William's stomach dropped. Who? Thomas hesitated. Then he said the name that made everything click into place. The man your mother married, the man you call father. William felt like the air had been sucked from the room. That's impossible, he whispered. He wouldn't. He would, Thomas said flatly. And he did. Your mother knew. She figured it out years later. Found documents. Overheard conversations. She was going to expose him. But then she got sick. And by the time she realized what was happening, it was too late. William sank into a chair. His legs wouldn't hold him anymore. Everything he thought he knew about his life was a lie. Everything. Thomas pulled up a chair across from him. Your father, your real father, was a good man. He loved your mother. He would have loved you, but he was in the way. And powerful people don't like obstacles. William's mind raced. So the man I've called father my entire life is a murderer. Ow. Thomas nodded slowly. And now he knows the truth is coming out. He knows you might discover what really happened. And he knows that if you do, his entire legacy crumbles. Hey, my brother, William said suddenly. Does he know? About the murder? Thomas shook his head. I don't think so. He just knows you're not legitimate. He thinks it's about bloodlines. About the throne. He doesn't know his father is a killer. William stood up. He paced the small room. His hands were clenched into fists. What am I supposed to do with this? How am I supposed to... His phone buzzed. The untraceable phone the guard had given him. He pulled it out. A text message from an unknown number. Oh, William. It's Marcus. His brother. Another message came through immediately. Please call me. I need to talk to you. I need to explain. William stared at the screen. His thumb hovered over the call button. Thomas watched him carefully. Be careful. He might be trying to find out where you are. He's my brother, William said quietly. He's also the son of the man who killed your father, Thomas replied. And right now, he's on their side. William hesitated. Then he dialed. Marcus answered immediately. William. Thank God. Where are you? I'm safe, William said. His voice was cold, guarded. Listen to me, Marcus said. His voice was rushed, desperate. I know what I did. I know I went to the council. But I was angry. I felt betrayed. I didn't think you didn't think what? William cut him off. You didn't think it would destroy me? You didn't think it would tear our family apart? Silence on the other end. Then Marcus's voice, quieter. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I was stupid. But you need to come back. You need to come home. Why? William asked. So they can control the story? So they can make this go away? No, Marcus said. Because it's not safe out there. Father, as he stopped himself. William's pulse quickened. Father is what? Marcus took a breath. He's looking for you, and he's not planning to talk. The words hung in the air like a threat. William felt his chest tighten. What does that mean? It means you need to disappear, Marcus said. Really disappear. Because if he finds you before the press does, before the truth comes out, his voice broke. William, I think he's going to kill you. William's blood ran cold. Thomas was watching him intently. Why are you telling me this? William asked. Marcus was quiet for a long moment. Then he said, Because you're my brother. And I don't care about bloodlines or thrones or any of it. I care about you. And I'm not going to let him hurt you. William wanted to believe him. Wanted to trust him. But trust was a luxury he couldn't afford right now. Where is he? William asked. Father. He left the palace an hour ago, Marcus said. He took 2 men with him. Private security. The kind that doesn't ask questions. I heard him on the phone. He knows you're in the city. He's narrowing it down. William looked at Thomas. The older man's face was grim. I have to go, William said. Wait, Marcus said quickly. There's something else. Something you need to know. William paused. What? Marcus's voice dropped to a whisper. Mother left something else. Something she never told. Anyone about? Evidence. Real evidence. Documentation. Recordings. Everything you need to prove what Father did. William's heart pounded. Where? I don't know, Marcus admitted. But there's a lawyer. Someone she trusted. His name is on a document I found in her old files. I'll text you the information. But William, you have to move fast. Father knows about the lawyer too. The line went dead. 2 seconds later, a text came through. A name. An address. A phone number. Thomas leaned over and read the screen. His face went pale. I know that name. That lawyer handled your mother's private affairs. If she left evidence with anyone, it would be him. Then that's where I'm going, William said. He grabbed his jacket. Thomas stood. It's too dangerous. If your brother knows about the lawyer, then your father knows too. He'll be waiting. I don't have a choice, William said. If that evidence exists, it's the only thing that will keep me alive. It's the only thing that will expose the truth. Thomas studied him for a long moment. Then he nodded. I'm coming with you, William said. You've done enough. I can't ask you to. You're not asking, Thomas said firmly. I made a promise to your mother. I'm not breaking it now. William wanted to argue, but he didn't have time. Every second they wasted was a second his father got closer. They left the house and got back in the car. Thomas drove fast, weaving through the empty streets. The address was on the other side of the city, a law office in the financial district. What if the evidence isn't there? William asked quietly. Thomas kept his eyes on the road. Then we find another way. And if there is no other way? Thomas glanced at him. Then you run. As far as you can, and you don't look back. William stared out the window. The city lights blurred past. Somewhere out there, his father was hunting him. Somewhere out there, the truth was waiting. And somewhere deep inside him, William knew that tonight would change everything. They pulled up to the law office 20 minutes later. The building was dark. The street was empty. Thomas parked around the corner. We should wait, he said. Make sure it's safe. But William was already out of the car, already moving toward the building because he could see someone standing in the shadows. Near the entrance, someone he recognized. His father. William stopped dead in his tracks. His father stood beneath a streetlight, tall, composed, hands folded behind his back. Two men flanked him, both large, both expressionless. Thomas grabbed William's arm. Get back in the car now. But William didn't move. He couldn't, because his father had already seen him. Their eyes met across the empty street. And in that moment, William saw something he'd never seen before. Not anger, not disappointment. Something colder, something final. His father smiled. A thin, joyless smile. William, he called out. His voice echoed in the silence. I was hoping you'd come. William's heart pounded. Thomas pulled harder on his arm. We need to leave. Right now. But William pulled free. He stepped into the street. His legs felt weak, but he forced himself forward. Stay back, his father said to the two men. William stopped 10 feet away. Close enough to see the lines on his father's face. Close enough to see the calculation in his eyes. How long have you known? William asked. His voice was steady, stronger than he felt. His father tilted his head. About you? About your mother's little secret? He shrugged. Since the beginning. Before you were even born. The words were like a knife. William's chest tightened. Then why? William asked. Why did you marry her? Why did you pretend? His father's smile faded. Because I needed an heir. Because the crown needed continuity. And because your mother was convenient. Beautiful. Well-connected. And very, very desperate. William's hands clenched into fists. You killed my father. My real father. His father didn't deny it. He didn't even blink. I removed an obstacle, a distraction. Your mother needed to focus on her duty. On her role. James was pulling her away from that, so I made sure he couldn't anymore. The casualness in his voice was sickening. William felt bile rise in his throat. She knew, William said. She figured it out. His father nodded slowly. Eventually, she was smarter than I gave her credit for. But by then, it was too late. She was already trapped, already mine. She was never yours, William spat. His father's eyes darkened. She was exactly mine. Every public appearance, every smile, every word. I owned all of it. And when she got sick, when she started planning her little rebellion, he paused. Well, let's just say her illness was very convenient timing. The implication hit William like a truck. You killed her too. His father shrugged. I accelerated the inevitable. She was dying anyway. Just made sure she didn't have time to ruin everything before she went. William's vision blurred. Rage flooded through him. He took a step forward. The two men moved, but his father raised a hand. "Let him come," he said calmly. William stopped himself. His whole body was shaking. "Why are you telling me this?" His father's smile returned. "Because it doesn't matter. Because in about 30 seconds, you're going to have an unfortunate accident. A tragic fall. A mugging gone wrong. Every story suits the moment." He gestured to the two men. They stepped forward. But Thomas appeared behind William, and in his hand was a phone, held high, recording every word Thomas said loudly. Every confession. Recorded and already uploaded to 3 different servers, along with documents, photos, everything Eleanor left behind. His father's face went pale. The two men stopped. William turned. Thomas met his eyes and nodded. "Your mother was thorough," Thomas said to the man who'd called himself William's father. "She documented everything. Conversations, dates, transactions. The man you hired to tamper with James's car? The doctor you paid to adjust her medication? All of it." The color drained from his father's face. For the first time, William saw fear in his eyes. "And now," Thomas continued, "it's all public, sent to every major news outlet, every investigative journalist. The palace can't bury it. You can't bury it. It's over." His father stood frozen. His jaw worked. His hands trembled. William stepped closer. "You took everything from me. My real father, my mother, my entire life. But you're not taking anything else." His father's eyes hardened. "You'll destroy the monarchy. Everything our family built, everything we stand for," good William said quietly, "because it was built on lies, on murder, on stolen lives. And I'm not going to protect that anymore." Sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder, closer. Thomas had called the police before they'd even left the house, set everything in motion. His father looked at the approaching lights, then back at William. "You'll regret this." "No," William said. "I won't." The police car screeched to a stop. Officers poured out. Someone shouted orders. The two men were grabbed immediately. Father didn't resist when they placed handcuffs on his wrists. As they led him away, he looked back at William one last time. His face was empty. Defeated, William watched until the cars disappeared. Then his legs gave out. He sank to his knees on the cold pavement. Thomas knelt beside him. "It's over. You're safe." William nodded, but he didn't feel safe. He felt hollow, empty. Like everything that had held him together for 29 years had just shattered. "What happens now?" he asked quietly. Thomas helped him to his feet. "You get to decide. For the first time in your life, you get to choose who you are. Not because of blood, not because of a crown, but because of you." William looked up at the dark sky. Somewhere up there, his mother was watching, and his real father, the man he never got to meet. 3 months later, William stood in front of cameras for the first time since that night. The trial was over. The confessions had been made. The truth had come out. His father was in prison. His brother had stepped down from all royal duties. The monarchy was in crisis, and William had made his choice. "I'm not a prince," he said into the microphone. His voice was steady, clear. "I'm the son of a teacher named James, a man who loved my mother, a man who wanted to build a life with her. And I'm the son of a woman who sacrificed everything to protect me, to give me a chance at the truth." The crowd was silent. "I don't know what comes next," William continued. "For me, for my family, for any of us. But I know this. I'm going to live the life they never got to. I'm going to honor their memory. And I'm going to be the person they hoped I'd become. Not a prince, not an heir. Just me." He stepped away from the microphone, walked off the stage, and disappeared into the crowd. Thomas was waiting at the edge of the square. He smiled as William approached. "She'd be proud," he said. William nodded. For the first time in months, he felt something close to peace. They walked through the city together. Two men connected by love and loss and the weight of truth. And as the sun set behind the buildings, William felt something he hadn't felt in a long time. Free.